Hey guys, what's going on? My wife, beautiful wife, just decided she was gonna take Myers-Briggs test after months. 2 months of me telling her, you should take it, you should take it. I think you're an INFJ. She starts going, I don't even know what that is. I don't like some robot telling me about my personality. I don't like tests. I hate tests. And I say, Angel, you're an INFJ. And she says, what in the world is that? And I start telling her. She says, oh, well, that sounds like me, but I don't want anything to do with it. Start showing her some of my videos. She says, yeah, okay, that's definitely, all right. And then she finally says, I don't need to take the test. I know what I am. I'm an INFJ. And I said, oh, sudden change of attitude halfway. She says, shut up. So finally, I'm telling her the last couple days, take the test, take the test. She doesn't want to. She says she'll take it last night. Wake up today, said, did you ever take it? No. And I said, here, you can do it now. And I pulled up the phone and handed it to her. She starts taking it. She is an INFJT. Yep, INFJA and INFJT. Two sides of the same coin. Everyone, meet my wife.
Stupid robot.
Needless to say, she is quite infuriated about the fact that I was right for 2 months and she was wrong in all of her ideologies, and things that she said were also invalid. But my audience needs to know about you. You'll be in my videos.
No.
We can do skits together.
No.
Tell people about the things we fight about. Tell people about what we fight about.
No.
Do it.
No.
Tell them, Angel. Tell them what we fight about.
Who's doing the dishes?
Oh, man. When an INFJ looks frustrated. See how she's smiling?
What's that got to do with being frustrated?
Oh, simple. Your extroverted feeling. I mean, you don't know about this stuff yet, but I'm about to teach you about everything. Your extroverted feeling causes you to want to be at harmony with other people and those around you. So rather than become frustrated and yell, you end up smiling a lot of the time, because that's typical for INFJTs. Now, INFJAs are not quite that way, but INFJTs do spend a lot of time smiling and trying to make other people feel...
Typical for Southern women, too. Just saying.
Southern women are psycho. That's a completely another topic altogether.
And you married one.
Looks can be deceiving. We're working on her. No, seriously. She is getting back into the Word. She's starting to spend a lot more time praying, and her heart's changed a lot since then. Since I first met her. Praise God for that. But she'll be in my videos going forward. Ignore the middle finger, please. That was not normal. She's doing that because she's very frustrated, and I know she's going to come back and say sorry. She's already quit swearing since she came here. She's been reading the Word a lot more. God is changing her heart, and thank God for that. But yeah, she's an INFJ. She'll be in my skits, and I wanted to bring this up and thought now would be a perfect time to make the video because I had an idea of how she would react. I was right, but INFJs, why it's so difficult for us to recognize when somebody is genuinely upset. Sometimes we see patterns quite clearly. When we see patterns like we know someone and that person always ends up saying nothing before they get upset. They say nothing and we say, why are you upset? What's wrong? They're not upset. Nothing's wrong. They're genuinely just silent that day. Maybe they're low on energy or something. What I'm trying to get into here, and I know this isn't normally how I open up my videos, little bit mixed up today. I have low energy myself, so I'm sorry. And the thoughts are a little bit jumbled. We, as INFJs, will look at someone. If we see a pattern we're familiar with, we will immediately associate that person with that pattern. This causes poor judgments, and we as INFJs like to think of ourselves as having a very non-judgmental mentality. The reality is we tend to categorize people without even realizing that we're doing it, though. And this isn't just an INFJ thing, but with us, we treat people as if they're in one of those categories. Again, our NI being our leading cognitive function, we categorize people and treat them accordingly based on what we think they need to get the best possible outcome. So what ends up happening, my wife did this the other night, I quit talking, quit smiling. She held out her arms, didn't even open up mine to give her a hug. I was just showing no emotion. She said, "What's wrong? Why are you angry?" And I said, "I'm not." She said, "But you're not smiling. And you're quiet." And I said, "Yeah. So? Just not in the mood to talk." "But hugs." I didn't want a hug. She said, "You're confusing," and walked away. So, you can see what I kept saying over and over, she's an INFJ. So, what really is going on inside the mind of an INFJ when this happens? What's really going through our heads when we categorize people and it turns out that they're wrong? I'll tell you a couple of things. Number one, insecurity. We start to feel really insecure about ourselves. We second guess our intuition as if it was wrong from the start. And we end up starting to become more quiet. We don't open up as much. We're not as confident with what we're saying. And this gets us into a lot of trouble because we're right. A lot of times we're right. Just because they repeated the same patterns, however, does not mean that they fit into that same category. So whenever we do this to someone, what we're really doing is we're saying if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then it is a duck, even if it's a hunter mimicking the sounds of a duck. So, if we can't see the duck, but we can hear the duck, we as INFJs say, it's a duck. Hear that sound? And we do that with birds and with animals too until we realize it just sounds similar. And we learn about it. So, what's so dangerous about this, guys, is we no longer think with our FE. We no longer think with our TI. It's purely NI, and that's dangerous because NI is completely based on our own perspective. If you don't change your perspective, your NI will always tell you things that are wrong. You have to correct your perspective before you can have a sound understanding of what facts are facts. So when you categorize people like this, if someone like my wife did with me, well, you're quiet, you're not smiling, you're not even offering me a hug, that's so unlike you, or you must be upset. No, I was content, I was happy, I didn't need anything, and I didn't feel like giving anything. I was just wanting to be alone. I was happy, I was just playing my games. Literally, I'm on my computer playing games, she comes out, and it's like, no, that's her puppy dog whine thing. Whimpers, she's really into hugs and physical touch and cuddling. A little bit too much for me sometimes. Anyways, she's you'll see her in future videos. She's out there trying to give me hugs, and I just, right back to my game. Doesn't see me smiling. What's going on? What do you mean? That's it. Like, I'm just emotionless. I'm just enjoying myself. Having a lot of fun on the inside. Guys, when you categorize people like this, it's purely based off of your perspective. What that means is if you want to fix this, right? If you want to be able to start interacting with people and not jumping to the conclusion something's wrong, not always. If you want to be able to fix this and accurately know when something's wrong versus when someone's just silent, you have to do two different things. One, you have to wait. INFJs are very prone to jumping into the heat of the moment. They're very prone to immediately judging and saying, it walks like a duck, so maybe it's a duck. Hey, are you a duck? And they're going to go up and ask, hey, are you okay? Trying to figure out, hey, is something really wrong? So, guys, first thing you have to do, wait. Don't just speak right away. Keep observing. I find that if you don't say anything at all when someone starts talking, they're going to talk more. Don't just jump to the conclusion because they said 3 sentences that you have an idea of where the conversation's going. You probably do. but it doesn't mean that your assumptions are correct either. Perspective is key. So wait and listen. And then number 2, don't rely on your NI so heavily. And this may sound like a shocker compared to all the videos I make about it, but hear me out. Here's why. NI is based purely off of our perspective. If you don't understand what the other person's perspective is before you speak, you're probably going to make an error at some point or other. Wait and listen. And number 2, don't rely on your NI so heavily. Take what the information and gut feelings your NI is giving you, and then compare them with what you are observing and hearing, and find a middle ground. Really, even if you're still relying on your NI, don't just jump on and say facts are facts. Wait until more information is given to you first. You see someone upset, don't think, oh, or not talking like my wife did me. She shouldn't have just thought, oh, he's upset. She should have waited and tried to trigger the patterns. Meaning, if she knows when I'm upset, I do this, or flick my fingernails like this whenever I'm on the verge of screaming at someone. It's the only way I can contain my anger. Or if I growl or raise my voice, or angel, like that, then she would have known I was upset. She should have tried to look for one of those patterns so she knew how to give back to me and minister to me. Not doing so is what caused her to misunderstand and call me confusing. I was confusing because her perspective was wrong. That was the confusing part. Her and I couldn't connect the dots because it was all centered around what she saw and believed and understood in the based on patterns and where she categorized me. So, bottom line is this. You guys, if you're going to be speaking to people and jumping to the conclusion that they're upset, test it. Wait, don't rely so heavily on your NI. Test it, kind of see if they're really in that category you put them in. See if the patterns connect, because if they do, it walks like a duck, and it already sounds like a duck, then it probably is a duck. But don't just categorize them and say, this sounds like a duck, they sound like a duck. Right now, I think and see it looks like they're walking like a duck. I'm going to assume that they're a duck. Hey, what's wrong? I know you're upset, talk to me. No, they're probably not upset until you made them upset, and then you say, aha, I was right, they were upset all along, they just didn't want to admit it. No, you probably made them upset by bothering them. They probably weren't upset, they were probably just deep in their thoughts. Or maybe they were frustrated and angry because somebody else just insulted them, or they just had a rough breakup, or their boyfriend isn't listening. It doesn't mean they're upset, they're feeling emotions, because human beings feel emotions. That's what they do, they feel. So, doesn't mean she's upset, it means that she's feeling something. Don't categorize someone just because they're upset or just because they're feeling emotions and can't talk about it because they're too angry and say, you're upset, what's wrong? Nothing is wrong if you would just give them the space to work out what they're feeling so they can talk about it and calm down. Because right now, they don't even know what they're feeling. So stop pestering them. And that's part of the reasons we get rejected. And then if no one loves me, all I wanted to do was help, and they didn't want my help because you misunderstood everything and you created a problem when there wasn't a problem. Don't push and pry so much. Wait. Step 1, wait and listen and see if you're correctly categorizing them. And I bet you if you do this and people realize you understand what they're feeling and thinking and understand their needs, they're going to be a lot more prone to open up to you anyway. So come on, guys, I get you want to help people, but I made a video about this before. That's living off of your FE. Don't let your FE lead you. It's going to get you into trouble. So take a step back, breathe, chill, wait, listen. Don't rely so heavily on your NI, and see if you're correctly categorizing them. You'll have a lot more luck with your interactions with people and in your day-to-day life. So that's everything for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You'll be seeing Angel in future videos. So yeah. INFJ-A, married to an INFJ-T redhead. So wait. That's with hazel eyes. That's a 1 in 500,000. 1 in 500,000 people are redheads that are INFJ-Ts with hazel eyes. That's really rare. Right, anyways, I'm an INFJ-A as well. And that's 25% of INFJs are INFJAs. So 1 in 4, meaning 0.25 to 0.5% of INFJs. And then you add the male, hazel eyes. I also have hazel eyes. Statistics are about the same. I think it would be closer though to 1 in 320,000 or something like that. So needless to say, this marriage is quite rare and quite uncommon. But you're going to be seeing a lot of us in her in the future videos. I think it's going to be really good to have two perspectives inside my videos. So hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.